I was valuing freedom and being of service and creating this body of work that would have a legacy, that I would be known for. I wanted people to know my name and that I was a part of their journey in some way, shape, or form. And so once I figured out that sending emails and making money was a thing and creating these digital products that you could enroll people into, I saw this man, his name's Bedros. He was hosting a 3-day event in California. I live in Toronto, Canada. So that's about a 5-hour flight from where I live to California and a 3-hour time zone difference. So the ticket to the event was $997, but the 3-day event meant that I had to stay basically 5 nights. So that meant a flight, a hotel, and food, all in US dollars. It was likely going to cost me about $5,000 to $6,000 plus who's watching my kids. At the time of this event, my son would have been a year, my daughter would have been 3.5. The event was March 2012. And I also knew that if I told people that I wanted to spend $1,000 US on a 3-day event hosted by this dude in California, that I was going to leave my kids for 5 to 6 days, everyone would think that I was being scammed. Everyone would think that I was off my rocker, that I lost it. What a waste of money. If you need money, we'll help you. Don't worry. You don't need to be gallivanting across the country. I wasn't worried about making money or supporting myself and my kids. I was worried that I wouldn't have the freedom to be around for them. All the time I had to drive from gym to run Wow Weight Loss. I still took one-to-one clients within Wow Weight Loss, and I was all over the place. I wasn't home at night, or I wasn't home Saturday mornings, and I didn't see that changing unless I did something to make that change, unless I forced the move. And at this point, I knew that I wanted to work online. I wanted what I saw Bedros and all these other people have, which was a digital business, and I wanted the flexibility to work from anywhere that I wanted. So I didn't tell anybody about the event. I bought a ticket and told everyone that I had won a scholarship, that I got it for free. All I needed was to get myself there. The whole thing, the event, the hotel was paid for, full ride scholarship. Yes, I lied, and I would do it again. I do not regret it one bit. My confidence at that point was on shaky ground. I had no idea what I was walking into, if it was a big waste of time and money, leaving my kids, flying across the country. I didn't know anyone. I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach. So let's talk about that feeling for just a minute, because I think this is where most people get stuck. The feeling that I had wasn't logical. It wasn't based on evidence or proof or a guarantee of return on investment. It was pure intuition. I had been begging the universe, begging for a way to radically transform my life. That's all I would say. Show me the opportunities. I'm open to anything. I will do whatever it takes. I am here. Show me what I need to do. Put the people in front of me so that they are obvious and blatant and I can see them. But I was praying because I didn't know how to get out of my current circumstance. And no one else around me did either, because I was basically one of the most successful nutritionists in my city. And so because I didn't have any preconceived notions, and because frankly, the internet wasn't then what it is now, I didn't have any sort of clue or concept about how I was going to radically change my life. Because I wasn't attached to it looking a certain way, I was able to recognize an opportunity when it showed up. And I had already gone through trusting my gut once when I created that coaching program, Wow Weight Loss, to begin with. I already gone against the grain. I already done something that I wasn't taught to do, and it worked. So that reinforced my intuition. So when this opportunity of attending this 3-day event in California presented itself, even though it made no logical sense, and even though it was a big risk, I had this deep knowing that I needed to do whatever it took to get myself there. And here's the thing about intuition. It doesn't come with a business plan. It doesn't come with proof or testimonials or a money back guarantee. It comes as a whisper, and then it gets stronger and stronger, and then it becomes a pull. Just this knowing in your bones that you cannot explain to anyone else, especially not to people who've never learned to essentially trust their own gut. Oprah talks about this all the time, how every major decision in her life came from following that inner voice, even when it didn't make sense to anyone else. She calls it the whisper before the storm, that quiet knowing that comes before all of the noise of other people's opinions and your own logic kicks in. Here's what I've learned. Your intuition, my intuition, is always working in our favor, even when, especially when you can't see the full picture. It's connected to something bigger than our conscious mind can grasp, and it sees these patterns and possibilities that our logical brain hasn't even caught up to yet. The problem is that we've been conditioned to ignore it, or maybe, in my case, call it anxiety. I've always asked the practitioners that I've worked with, how do I know it's my intuition versus my anxiety, or versus what I think I should do? We've been taught to make decisions based on spreadsheets and pros and con lists and what other people think makes sense for us. We've been taught that if we can't explain it or justify it or immediately prove that it will work, then we just shouldn't do it. Then it's too much of a risk and we just shouldn't do it. But every major breakthrough, every life-changing moment, every leap that actually transforms your life, my life, it starts out with trusting that feeling in the pit of your stomach, even when you have zero proof that it'll all work out. That's what separates people like us and those who for their entire lives talk about doing something, but never actually do it. It's not intelligence that separates us. It's not resources. It's not even opportunity. It's the willingness to trust yourself to take that step forward in the absence of proof. And I knew this was it, that opportunity that I was looking for. It was like I had asked this universe to present me with an open door, and I had to choose to walk through it. And maybe you're in that place right now where you know in your bones something needs to change. You know there are opportunities out there for you. You're facing a big decision. Maybe it's investing in working with me, or maybe it's leaving your job to start something new, or maybe it's finally launching that idea you've been sitting on for years. Or maybe it's not even business related. Maybe it's signing up for the weight loss program, or training for a marathon, or going back to school, ending a relationship that's not serving you, or moving to a new city. Maybe it's therapy or fertility treatments, or saying yes to something that scares the hell out of you. Whatever it is, you're standing in front of an open door and your intuition is screaming at you and your logical brain is fighting it. This is what is called a threshold moment. You're standing at the threshold, or the intersection of intuition, of purpose, of calling. It's that pivotal point where you're standing at the edge of everything familiar, looking into the unknown, and you have to decide, do I stay safe and do I stay the same, or do I leap and do I grow? A threshold moment is when life presents you with an opportunity that requires you to become a different version of yourself. It's not just a decision, it's a transformation waiting to happen. It's the moment when staying the same becomes more painful than the fear of change. And these moments, they don't come with guarantees. They don't come with a roadmap or a promise that everything will work out. They come with a choice. Trust yourself or stay stuck. And Steve Jobs said it perfectly. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. And that's exactly what a threshold moment asks of us, to trust that the dots will connect even when you can't see how in the present moment. To believe that the skills you'll need, the people you'll meet, the opportunities that will unfold, they're all waiting on the other side of that door. But here's the thing about threshold moments. They're not just about big life-changing decisions. They happen all the time. Every time you choose growth over comfort, action over analysis, courage over fear, that's a threshold moment. Maybe yours isn't dropping $6,000 to, spend 5 to 6 days in another country. Maybe it's finally hitting publish on that first social media post, or signing up for that course, or having that difficult conversation, or just admitting out loud what you actually want out of your own life. The question isn't whether you're ready. The question is, are you willing to trust that you'll figure it out as you go?